Before this video starts, I want to give a massive shout out to all my channel members. If you want to receive a shout out, then become a channel member today and you'll be shown on screen like all these other channel members here. Anyways, enjoy the video. In version 15.5, we get to see the true form of Ninja Girl Tomoe, and in this video, I want to go over what she had gotten to see if they're able to improve on her kit. In order to get the true form, you need 5 blue cat fruits, 2 epic cat fruits, and an Aku cat fruit. Before we start, like, comment, subscribe, the whole ordeal. The footage of Tomoe is at level 40. In order to get a better understanding of what she gains in her true form, let's quickly discuss what she did before her true form. Tomoe is a unit who has a 50% chance to freeze Traitless and Aku enemies for 3 seconds. She sports her own 1-slot freeze combo, so this freeze is really 3.3 seconds, giving her an average uptime of 27%. She's also surge immune, which helps her match up into Aku and select Traitless enemies. Her freeze and surge immunity was useful in disrupting some Traitless and Aku enemies for a decent amount of time, but 2 issues plagued her before. Her real lack of offensive power, especially thanks to her split LD, made it extremely difficult to accumulate damage with her. Her damage being low also makes it difficult for her to handle Aku shields on her own. Also, the split LD with the 129 range blind spot made it so she couldn't use enemies as stepping stones to snipe enemies that are sitting just behind said stepping stone. The only real thing she could do is provide occasional freeze into Traitless and Aku enemies, but does her true form change this? To see if this is the case, we have to pull up her stats. In her true form, she gains an 11% boost to damage. This means now that she deals 27,000 damage between 1 to 421 range, while dealing 13,000 damage between 550 to 850 range. She also gains 2 seconds of freeze, now freezing for 5 seconds instead of 3 seconds, or 5.5 seconds due to her 1-slot freeze combo. The biggest addition she gains is the Strong ability. With the increase in freeze time along with her combo, her average freeze uptime goes from 27% to 45%. While this average freeze uptime is still a bit on the lower end, the fact that the freeze lasts near her full attack cycle does mean that she's a lot better at keeping Traitless and Aku enemies frozen. This is especially the case if you get lucky in landing multiple freezes in a row. Also, because of her gaining Strong, it doesn't feel as awful to not proc the freeze, as at the very least, she can deal decent damage into her targets regardless. Speaking of Strong, this is the main appeal for this true form, so let's take a look at some of the numbers. At level 30, her effective health into Traitless and Aku enemies gets boosted to 163,000 health. Between 1 to 421 range, her damage is boosted to 40,800, while between 550 to 850 range, her damage jumps to 20,400. Her damage is finally entered in the realm of being usable against a wide range of her targets thanks to the Strong ability on the first hit. However, she still suffers from the main thing that holds her back a ton, this being her split multi-hit, which causes her to miss out on a ton of DPS and the fact that she can't abuse stepping stones as much to freeze enemies that are just out of reach. This isn't as bad now thanks to her Strong ability, but it can still pose an issue against the likes of Aku shields. The lack of general offense means that she's really only able to be used against her targets, as her stats are still a bit lacking outside of fighting Traitless and Aku enemies. At the very least, having access to Strong means she can still contribute decently well into her targets, even if she doesn't proc her freeze. Everything else about her, like her surge immunity, is still helpful against the likes of the Cappy twins, and even more so thanks to the Strong ability. So, how good is Tomoe's true form? Well, it does fix most of her issues, mainly a lack of damage, though her freezing capabilities are still a bit left to be desired. Because most of the damage comes from her Strong ability, this mainly relegates her being usable into her 2 traits, but at least she can meaningfully contribute into a fight against Traitless and Aku enemies now. With all that said, I want to thank you for watching this analysis of Tomoe's true form. If you thought this insight was interesting, then be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy Battle Cats content, and comment down below your thoughts on them. I'd love to hear what you all think. Also, shout out to the following channel members: Dr. Deadly, Gourmand, Virus Apero, Just a Shark, Girls Captain Ultra, Potato King, Clamorous, Fairly Grover, Jade Rabbit, Tentacle Gaming, I May Be Dumb, I'm Too Few, Alex Durex, Carlos Fabian, Pugberto, The Real Knight, Jenna Kultenberg, The Gelatinous Cube, Warp ST, and Mimi Ash for being silver members or higher. If you want to receive a shout out like these channel members here, then become a silver member or higher today. Becoming a channel member supports what I do in a way that helps keep the lights on and allows me to continue making content for all of you to watch. Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful day.